For miles, that's roughly the length of about 70 football fields. Now, imagine something covering that distance in a single second. That's the reality of modern warfare today. We are talking about a weapon that travels at Mach 15 times the speed of sound. From the moment a radar screen picks it up to the moment it reaches its target, you might have less than a minute to react, 60 seconds to decide the fate of a city. But speed isn't the only thing that makes this weapon a game changer. Traditional ballistic missiles fly in a high, predictable arc like a thrown football. Defense systems have spent decades learning how to intercept that arc. This new weapon doesn't play by those rules. It maneuvers. It changes direction mid-flight. It dips and weaves through the atmosphere, making its path impossible to predict. This isn't a theoretical threat from a sci-fi movie. This technology has just been used in a live-fire conflict in the Middle East, and it has sent a clear message to military planners from Washington to Riyadh. The rules of deterrence have just been rewritten. There is currently no proven defense against what the world just witnessed. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. I'm Rana Asif, and today we are breaking down the hypersonic revolution, why it renders billions of dollars in defense technology obsolete, and how it is fundamentally shifting the balance of global power. If you want to understand the future of conflict before it happens, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Graphic, title card. The Hypersonic Revolution host. To understand why this is such a massive shift, we have to look at the history of missile defense. For decades, the equation was simple. A ballistic missile launches, travels into space, and then falls back to Earth on a specific trajectory. It's complicated math, but it's predictable. Systems like the American Patriot or Israel's Arrow system are designed to solve a geometry problem. Where will the missile be, and can we put an interceptor in that exact spot at that exact time? With powerful computers and radar, this is a solvable problem. Hypersonic weapons shatter this concept. They combine two devastating technologies. First, they travel at speeds above Mach 5. In the case of the weapon we saw, speeds reportedly exceed Mach 15. At that velocity, the friction with the atmosphere creates a plasma field around the missile, essentially cloaking it and making radar tracking incredibly difficult. Second, and this is the real nightmare for defense planners, is maneuverability. These weapons don't just fall, they fly. They use control surfaces to glide and change direction even at extreme speeds. So, you're no longer solving a simple geometry problem. You're trying to predict the unpredictable. Imagine trying to hit a bullet with another bullet, but that first bullet can suddenly swerve left. The margin for error is zero. If your interceptor is off by a fraction of a degree, the target is already miles away. B-roll animation comparing a standard ballistic arc versus a maneuvering hypersonic glide vehicle. Host. This new reality didn't appear overnight. It's the result of a years-long strategic push by nations looking for an asymmetric advantage, a way to bypass the massive defensive investments of their adversaries. Engineers have had to solve seemingly impossible problems, building materials that can withstand searing heat, guidance systems that work through plasma interference, and engines that can sustain these incredible speeds. The weapon itself is a two-stage system. It uses a powerful rocket to punch through the atmosphere, and then it releases a glide vehicle. This vehicle doesn't just fall, it uses its speed and design to skip along the upper atmosphere, staying low enough to avoid early detection by long-range radar, but fast enough to render reaction times meaningless. In its final moments, it dives toward its target, maneuvering violently, making it virtually impossible to stop. B-roll. Maps of the Middle East, US bases, and naval assets host. So why use this weapon now? The timing is deeply strategic. By demonstrating this capability in a real conflict, Iran isn't just striking a target, it's sending a message to every nation in the region. It's a message to the United States, whose military bases dot the Middle East. It's a message to the Gulf states. The message is simple: the defenses you've built, the systems you've bought, are no longer a guarantee of safety. Let's look at what this means for a country like Israel, which has one of the most advanced multi-layered air defense networks in the world. The Iron Dome, famous for stopping rockets, is completely irrelevant here. David's sling, designed for medium-range missiles, cannot track or engage a maneuvering target at Mach 15. And even the Arrow system, built to intercept ballistic missiles in space, faces an almost insurmountable challenge against a target that can change its mind about where it's going. The same goes for American naval power. An aircraft carrier, the cornerstone of U.S. power projection for decades, relies on the Aegis combat system. Facing a hypersonic anti-ship missile, that carrier goes from being a symbol of power to a high-value, vulnerable target. The entire concept of the carrier strike group may need to be rethought. Graphic, title card, the global ripple effect host. The implications of this go far beyond one conflict. We are witnessing a potential shift in the global power dynamic. Think about it. For the last 30 years, the United States and its allies have enjoyed a massive advantage in precision strike and missile defense. Hypersonic technology is the great equalizer. It allows a nation with fewer resources to hold a superpower's assets at risk. This creates a dangerous incentive for proliferation. If one nation in a region has an unstoppable weapon, its neighbors will feel an urgent need to acquire the same capability, either to deter, attack, or to maintain their own strategic standing. We could see a new arms race, not in nuclear warheads, but in these ultra-fast, maneuverable delivery systems. The economic cost is staggering. Nations have spent billions on defense systems that are now, if not obsolete, then severely limited. To develop a defense against hypersonic weapons, we're looking at potential solutions that sound like science fiction. Directed energy lasers that can burn through a missile at the speed of light, or advanced AI that can predict an object's maneuvering patterns in real time. These technologies are decades away from being reliable. In the meantime, the offense has won. The cost to build a hypersonic missile is far less than the cost to research and deploy a system to stop it. This is the same asymmetric math that makes terrorism and IEDs so effective, but now applied to strategic state-level warfare. B-roll, news headlines, think tanks, diplomatic meetings, host for NATO and Western alliances. This is a crisis of credibility. How do you guarantee the security of member states when you can't protect them from the primary threat of the future? European nations that have relied on the American defense umbrella are now facing a hard truth. That umbrella has holes in it. This will force a massive revaluation of defense budgets, military doctrine, and even foreign policy. And what about the homeland security aspect? For years, the threat of a missile strike on the US mainland was primarily discussed in the context of Russia or China. But as hypersonic technology proliferates, that calculus changes. The same technology in the hands of other state actors raises questions that defense planners are only beginning to grapple with. The billions of dollars spent on homeland missile defense may need to be spent all over again. Host looks directly into the camera. Music becomes more somber and thought-provoking. Host, this isn't just about military hardware, it's about psychology. It's about the feeling of safety that populations in stable countries have grown accustomed to. When civilians realize that the defense systems they were told would protect them are no longer a sure thing, it changes the political landscape. It creates pressure on leaders to act preemptively, to de-escalate at any cost, or to make dangerous concessions. We are standing at a pivotal moment in military history. The demonstration of this hypersonic weapon is a watershed event, as significant as the first use of radar or the development of the stealth bomber. It shows that the technological advantage held by Western powers for decades is eroding. The deep dive here is that we are entering a new era of vulnerability, where speed and unpredictability have outpaced defense. The question for every nation now is not, how do we stop this? But how do we live in a world where we can't? Outro music begins. Host. The geopolitical chessboard is being reset, and the deep dive will be here to help you understand every move. If this analysis gave you a new perspective on global security, please share this video with someone who needs to see it. Drop a comment below. In a world with unstoppable weapons, how should nations ensure their security? Is it better defenses, or is it better diplomacy? I read your comments, and your insights are invaluable. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next breakdown. This is Rana Asif for The Deep Dive. Thanks for watching.